Okay, I think we're going to give you all just a few minutes to get into our webinar today. Thank you for joining us. We are hosting today our very first Lunch and Learn of the year. And so thank you for joining us. We have quite a collection of panelists today, and we hope you walk away with some great tools to use for your schools. So the topic for today is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. It's just around the corner, and we know more and more schools are kind of trying to use this as an opportunity to connect with the staff and employees at their schools. And so we want to provide you with some ways to equip yourselves to support your staff in this upcoming month. We are going to kick off with thanks to our Platinum sponsors. We obviously wouldn't be able to accomplish anything that we do without these partnerships that are in place. And so thank you to everyone. We do have 2 Platinum partners on the call with us today. We have 5-Star and Magic School, and you're going to hear from them in just a moment. So our goals for today, we're going to hear from 5-Star, we're going to hear from Magic School, and then we're going to dive in with some of our directors and CTO people that have information to share with you. And here is our panel today. And Darlene, I think you just saved me because I guess I hadn't shared my screen. So everyone missed that. You've just looked at my face. Wonderful. Okay, so here's our panel. Bill, I'm going to let you kick off your introduction, and we're going to go through the rest of the panelists.
Thank you, Cassie. Bill Stein, Director of Shenanigans down here in Mount Vernon, Indiana. I love cybersecurity awareness. It's kind of my jam. So I've got a lot to share with you, and I can't wait to do that.
Scott?
Hello, everyone. I'm Scott Pratt, Assistant Tech Director at Westfield, Washington School District. I'm very passionate about cybersecurity as well, and this is my favorite time of year to really shine. So I'm excited to share on a couple of topics with you today as well.
I'm Seth Hamilton. Introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Seth Hamilton, Director of Technology for Mount Vernon Community School Corporation, the Upper Mount Vernon. Cybersecurity is one of those things that, coming from the instructional side of technology, I had to kind of get up to speed pretty quickly as Director of Technology, and it's become a passion, and yeah, I'm excited to share today.
Brad?
By upper, he just meant geographically. He wasn't trying to start a war with Bill Stein about who was the best.
That is correct.
I'm Brad Egg. I'm the Director of Educational Technology with the Indiana Department of Education, and I'm apparently old because of my years of service. They're scaring me now, so I won't even say I'm glad to be here.
Experienced, Brad, is the word for that. Experience.
Seasoned.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this over to our 5-Star partners.
Thanks, Cassie. Seasoned, I like the word. I just turned 53 last month, so I'll just put it out there.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here. Always good to be with this group. Absolutely love this group of people. Thank you for having us. 5-Stars, continually honored to be a platinum sponsor of the Indiana CTO Council. And just quick, I'll give my message very, very quickly. 3 Ps. People, we got so many partners in the room here, school districts that partner with us, and we're thankful for you. And with 5-Star, we believe you're going to love our people. You're going to get to meet one very soon that you'll love what she has to say. Our products and services are geared to K-12 schools. It's who we are and who we serve. And the proof that you're going to see is in the outcomes that we provide. So we are very focused on that, and we believe that when you partner with us, technology is going to be better, and we wrap what we do around the people in the room and help lift you up. Perfect topic for us today with cybersecurity. And one of the outcomes that we provide is helping you stand your cybersecurity posture up better. And I want to hand off to our director of cybersecurity, Itza White, who has a couple of key areas that she wanted to highlight for you.
Great. Thank you so much, Nathan. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy almost Friday. So in the next few minutes, I just want to kind of try to shift that conversation into what we're seeing with the cyber insurance renewal priorities and strategies, and for that incident recovery plan, right? I want to just try to cut through that noise because, if we're being honest, the cyber insurance renewal comes in and it has a lot of vague language. It feels kind of like a checklist. Honestly, it feels like we're setting up for a test and one we're going to fail because we didn't even know we were taking it, right? So those questions always come up, right? MFA, air gapped, immutable backups. Um, but when you take the cyber insurance application, no matter how long or complex, right, it comes down to two questions. Can you stop an attack? And when that attack happens, what happens next, right? So those are our strategies when we're building an incident response plan and what comes with it, right? What they really want to see is do you have one? And do you have proof that you've thought about it and that you've practiced it? Because an untested plan, honestly, is just a theory, right? It's just a piece of paper. Um, and here's how that works in practice, right? A couple weeks ago, I led a district through a tabletop exercise. 20 minutes in, we discovered that their entire communication chain just fell apart the moment that their Google accounts were compromised, right? So in less than half an hour, we uncovered exactly something that we needed to fix and where we needed to start, right? So where do you start? Well, stop trying to write that perfect plan. Just start with one simple question, right? If ransomware hit, who makes those decisions, right? So your homework, didn't know you were going to have homework, right? But gather your leadership team, not just the tech department, and walk through that scenario. It's 10 a.m. on a Friday, systems are down, parents are calling. What happens in that first hour, right? And honestly, you'll discover all those gaps that you didn't know even know you had. And thank you for sharing those, Darlene. I did want to let you know we have a couple free resources for you. One is called the Cyber Incident Readiness Check. It's simple, it's fast. It's built specifically for K-12. So you can assess kind of where you are and start to go deeper that way. And then we do have two free webinars that we're going to be hosting in October. But honestly, just start small. Start before it feels ready, but really start now with the people that will be in that room with you when the pressure is real, right? In a crisis, it won't be the checklist that leads everything, right? It'll be you. So just set the tone, set the standard, and lead your people through that noise. And that is all I had, Nathan. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else.
No, that's perfect. Thanks, Itza. And those, it looks like those resources are in the chat. Thank you, Darlene.
Fantastic. Great resources there. All right, I'm going to throw it off to Magic School.
Hi, everyone. Happy almost Friday. I'm Megan. I get to work here at Magic School with Carissa and Kurt. We're so excited to see you all and learn with you today. Just a couple updates on our end from an Indiana perspective. We officially are at 68 partners across the state of Indiana. Actually might hit 70 by the end of the day tomorrow, which is exciting, serving approximately 226,000 students, which obviously we're really excited about and proud of. Grateful for all of you here on the call that are partners with us and want to keep learning with you. I don't have a ton, but I do. Oh, that QR code in the top corner is the most important piece of this entire presentation. That will take you to a Google form and you can fill it out and you can get one of these cool Indiana Educators Are Magic shirts. So if you fill that out, we'll send you an email with a code, which is, again, most important. So Carissa, you want to talk about new fun features?
Sure, I will. So I am Carissa Schwannekamp. I've been with Magic School for 4 months now, but I was in Plainfield for 21 years. So I went from being a partner to now working for Magic School. And one of the things I love the most is that we listen to educators. And so most of these features and updates are directly from educator feedback. So lots of enhancements with our teachers' tools and advanced search. No longer need to sign in to access Adobe Image Generator. We have dark mode, copy and paste and upload from phone. And the next slide, we just have a couple more. Canvas integration with SpeedGrader, huge hit with a lot of educators. Our STEM and math capabilities are really improving. We can organize tools now by collection, so by school priorities, by content areas. That's really special. We have smarter search options. And then on the student side, what is really exciting on the next slide is that we have this new learning goals feature. So even deeper insights into how students are progressing towards learning goals. So lots of things that are new. Definitely log in and check it out. And don't forget, the QR code is important to get your Indiana t-shirt. Kurt?
Yeah, it's funny going anywhere with Megan and Carissa. Everybody knows them. It's funny even them introducing themselves. They're legends. We know that. This does feel a bit like a family reunion, which is kind of fun. But I'm just there to carry their bags. Yes, just in terms of like security, one thing that we're definitely seeing is kind of that desire for schools to be able to better manage the AI that's being implemented at the school in the classrooms by non-teaching staff, used by their students. We're aware of the incident that happened last week with the student that was encouraged to pursue means to self-harm. And so things like that we're aware of. We know that that happens. We know that schools are looking for a solution to get their arms around AI to implement it safely to support staff and students. But one thing that we are very proud of is this partnership with ESEI. With that, we have supported kind of this train the trainer network throughout the state. We keep hearing from different schools that said, "Oh yeah, we just had our Region 8 trainer that came in and helped them, helped our staff learn about Magic School and how to integrate it into their classroom." So we love that. That was really our intent, where Megan, Chris, and I went in with the help of Darlene to lead the train the trainer event so that more of our ESE partners are equipped to support their local partners. So something we're really proud of. There's also the pricing discount that goes along with that for any school throughout the state. So that's a quick summary of what we've been up to here at Magic School.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. And remember, you all stay on, join the conversation if you have something to add to it, okay? All right, so we are going to move along. All right, we're kicking it off with Bill Stein. If you don't know him, he is the mastermind behind Cyber Shorts, which I'm sure he's going to share a little bit about in just a moment. But Bill, tell us, I know you do a ton of stuff in your district in regards to Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
So yeah, thanks, Cassie. Again, I'm just really happy to be here to talk about this. I'm going to share a lot of things we do here in Mount Vernon. It's going to be in a Google Doc, and I'm going to go ahead and share that. And if you have a second just to open that up, I'm going to go through it piece by piece. But here in Mount Vernon, we take a risk-based approach to cybersecurity, meaning we're not just buying tools for this and for that, but we're worried about what are our biggest risks, okay? And let's focus on those first, right? Because if those are our biggest risks, that just makes sense. Well, according to the Google Mandiant report from last year, 33% of cyber attacks came through patching, unpatched hardware, unpatched software. And normally tech departments, they have their nerds take care of that. So 33% is patching. But another 40% is social engineering, phishing, people being fooled into doing things. So those are the two biggest risks. And if you add those together, what do you get? You get 73%. If you can take care of those two things, if you can take care of your patching and if you can take care of social engineering through cybersecurity awareness, you've knocked out 73%. So it's very important. And a lot of schools and a lot of businesses, I feel, put cybersecurity awareness on the back burner. They spend all their time buying firewalls and antivirus and what have you. Those things are important. We need those things, but there needs to be an emphasis on cybersecurity awareness. So that brings us to October. Welcome to October. Well, in a couple weeks, several weeks. So October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And you guys know, cyber attacks just don't happen in October. They happen all year round. So what I would encourage you to do today, as you listen to all of the speakers and the resources they're going to provide, think about how you can take the successes that you're going to have in October and spread those out over the whole year, because we need cybersecurity awareness every month. Okay, so moving on, we're looking at resources for you, the tech director. Let's get everyone else trained, but you guys need some training too. I would suggest for the month of October, you purchase this book on Amazon by Perry Carpenter. He is a employee and consultant for KnowBe4. And this book really digs into the behaviors and the marketing aspects behind cybersecurity awareness, because it is sort of a marketing thing. You're trying to change behaviors. You can't change it for them. So I would really highly recommend that book. It's a very easy read. And then kind of connected to that, I would jump on LinkedIn after this call and follow these 4 individuals. These are influencers in the cybersecurity awareness realm. These are really smart people. And if you get on LinkedIn like I do, it's sort of the new Twitter. This is where I get a lot of my professional development, from these 4 people. All right, so some more stuff for you tech directors. I just said that 73%, 40% is cybersecurity, 40% is social engineering. We're setting a budget for cybersecurity hardware and software, right? Are we setting a budget for cybersecurity awareness? Is there money available to do some of the things I'm going to show you today? Well, I think it's time we met with our CFOs and we tried to set a budget. So we have a pool of money to work from to do some of these things. I would suggest a 5%. Look at your overall cybersecurity budget and grab 5% of those monies, and let's set that aside for cybersecurity awareness. So now you've got a little pile of money you can use to do different things. And if that's a struggle here at first, well, you got to seek sponsorships. I'm going to be talking about a lot of contests. We're going to be talking about giving away gift cards and other things. So use people in your community, businesses in your community, talk about what you're trying to accomplish. And usually they're more than happy to provide something. And then also we've got cybersecurity vendors that sometimes are able to provide things. So I won't mention any names, but people are willing to do that. All right, so let's jump into resources for your district. This first one's pretty easy. Run phishing tests during the month of October, but with an emphasis on reporting, because that's one of the most critical things is reporting. So what we do is we run a fishhook contest. It's very simple. If someone uses that fishhook to report a message, then they go into a contest to win a gift card at the end of the month. And you get quite a few people starting to use that fishhook to report, because we don't want people forwarding messages to us if they're suspicious, right? Because it's just like handing someone a virus and saying, is this a virus? We don't want to do that. We need to be able to report those in safe ways. The quizzes are really fun. Every Wednesday on Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and now throughout the year, I run a little quiz, and I've linked them there in this document. It's just questions that I came up with that I felt would get them start to thinking about their behaviors. And at the end of that week, I would run a raffle on that, and someone would get a $25 gift card. And those were really fun, and they were really popular. I got in some arguments. They were like, well, I think I was right on this question. And if they get the question wrong, they still get to go in the raffle. If they're participating, they get to play. So all of the stuff I'm sharing with you today, you feel free to copy and make your own. Moving on, I've got a lot here. some of the marketing things I learned from the book is, you can get those know before posters and you can buy them and have them printed and put them around your schools. Those are great. But I really feel like putting your own people in your own marketing materials really gets people's attention because, hey, that's our ELL teacher on that poster. So I've shared some Canva templates, which you're able to copy and make your own, put your own people in there. Scrolling down, phishing memes are always fun. You can get them online. People are entertained by phishing memes. I can't explain it. I am also entertained by phishing memes. And then if you got someone who's really good in Canva or whatever the other desktop publishing apps are, you can even put your own people in some of these memes, and that's really fun. Okay, another thing I did is Two-Factor Tuesday because we want to teach our staff and students, we want to teach them about overall cybersecurity awareness, not just at work, but in their lives, right? And how many people don't have two-factor authentication turned on their Facebook page? A lot. How many people don't have two-factor authentication turned on their Amazon account? A lot. So I ran a contest and it was you had to be on, I was on the honesty train here. It challenged them, and I put the form in there. It challenged them to turn on two-factor authentication on their Facebook page, turn on two-factor authentication on their Amazon account, and others. And I got like 66 teachers to turn on all those things in that form. So now their personal things are just a little bit safer. So that was fun. And then one thing that's just getting worse and worse, and you guys know this, especially with AI now, the deep fakes are just awful. I was at the cybersecurity conference for all the government institutions. I forget what it's called, but the speaker I saw there, we used to say trust but verify, right? Trust but verify. Kind of a spy thing to say. Well, I think now in today's world, we got to flip that, right? We got to verify, then we can trust it. We can't just automatically assume something is okay. So yeah, unfortunately, that's the world we live in. And there's a little thing you can send out and then also do Google Forms and set it. Did you go through the deep fake exercise? And if they did, they get to go into a contest for more gift cards. Okay, so in conclusion, again, take the things that you were good at in October and let's build on those successes, spread that out over the year. The other thing I'm telling people is I don't think we should be punishing people for failing phishing tests. All right, we're all human and we make mistakes, and that has to be okay. What I would say is focus on the positives, focus on the reporting, have a contest on people reporting those phishing tests and get people doing it that way because punishing people does not create good cybersecurity culture. And just remember, 73%, you take care of hardware and software patching and you take care of your employees, you're going to knock out 73%. Thank you. Sorry that was so long.
That was fantastic, Bill. I knew you had a lot to share because we've talked about it. So fantastic. Okay, we're going to go over to Scott Pratt.
Well, hello, Bill. Thank you so much. That was amazing. And thank you for sharing all the resources too. I'll probably tap into that myself and utilize those as much as possible. But what changes and behaviors have I noticed as a result of past cybersecurity awareness months? And how do we keep momentum going after October ends? Well, over the past few years, we've definitely seen behavior shifts. I'd say the most noticeable significantly has been with email. More staff are stopping to question those suspicious messages instead of just clicking the button. And we love the know before fish hook that's integrated on the side panel of our Gmail email. I'm sure there are other alternatives, and they probably work just as good, but we love this fish hook and we're very thankful to have gotten it. If you're not aware of exactly what that is or what we're talking about, Mr. Brad Hag will tell us some more about that specifically here in a little bit. Teachers in particular have gotten better about using strong passphrases, and some of those are taken those practices home to their families, and sharing those skills with their own kids and family members. And I think that's amazing. That really makes me feel like I'm making a difference. Um, what's the key to sustaining that beyond October, is really treating Cybersecurity Awareness Month as a launching point, not a finish line. We build on it with quarterly refreshers, quick tips and staff newsletters, short tabletop exercises and PD environments with our leadership. Um, that way, the October month just really spotlights and creates momentum. And we try to keep it alive throughout the year with smaller touch points. And hopefully people aren't sick of hearing about it, but it's definitely worth it. And those posters that we put up on our walls, I'm not ashamed to say that if I look out my window right now, I'll see a couple of them in a hallway that are still up from last year. And that's okay with me. We'll just make sure we get those swapped out with something fresh. I'd like to see us get that done more often, but the time is somewhat of a limitation. And as long as I see something out there, I know we're making progress. What lessons have we taken away from activities that didn't go as planned? And I'd love to hear anyone else chime in on this too. I'm not sure if that's something we talk about, because we have tried a lot of things over the years, and some things maybe, wasn't exactly a home run. One thing I didn't really do a good job of in the past that I will do a better job this year of is considering our non-English speakers. Some of those staff, not necessarily, but may potentially be, the more vulnerable members of your staff. In my mind, I'm thinking immediately like custodial, kitchen staff, and other various, classified positions. Um, I've also learned a lesson the hard way about trying to share too much at once and overloading staff members. So last year I took a different approach, and I focused really on one topic each week, without giving too many technical details and making a fun read. So I really started off with almost like a syllabus, or here's what you're going to see from me throughout this Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Kind of a quick overview in one email, and then I did just weekly emails according, exactly how I said it was going to happen, and really hit home on the various topics, whether it was phishing or passwords. And off the top of my mind, I can't remember what the other topics were. I know deepfakes was one, as that was starting to really take off. Um, but yeah, I'd love to hear from anyone else. Have you tried something that didn't work that maybe would help someone else from going down the wrong path at first?
Scott, I like what you shared about oversharing with everybody and drinking from the fire hose type thing. I like the idea of breaking it down week by week, and focus on different items throughout the month, because I think in my case, we kind of front loaded everything and said, here is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and here's everything at the start, and then barely touched on it again throughout the month. So I really like that feedback.
I'm
Um,
trying to
I,
navigate. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I believe that worked out really well for me last year, and I'll use that as a template again this year. And after I have that put together, I'm happy to share that with anyone who would like to see that. It might save you a little bit of time.
That would be great. My struggle is like just communicating out the information. Principals have a weekly email, but sometimes I wonder how much of those actually get read, or if my content is always at the bottom of that newsletter, like as a, oh yeah, is that really the most effective way to get that content out to staff members? And I know we don't want constant bombardment of communication. So what's the balance between I need to send this out on my own to the people from me versus it's okay that this goes out through the principal of each building? So
That's a really good point, and certainly something to consider. I did notice you say that my content Somehow make that my content, like our content. And then, maybe it could be highlighted more. But there, it is normal to worry about, oversharing or, sending out so much information, people might not even want to read it at some point. Um, so be wary that's a possibility, and find that strategy that works best for the people that, you have your relationships with, and make sure you have buy-in from leadership as well, so they are happy with your actions.
I loved what you said about the fish hook. It's so easy to use and to teach users how to use that. And it cuts down a little bit on the users forwarding you emails that they're concerned about, which will never totally go away, but it sure is nice when you can redirect them to a really easy solution and just say, no, you really need to click that button because that really helps us. And so I posted in the chat the guide on how to set that up in Google. So there you go.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, Brad. Yeah, I don't know what we do without that. And then I kind of see the knowledge of the fish hook as a fail or success on my end. So if we have an employee and they ask how do I handle this email? That means we haven't done a good job of explaining that to them up front before they ever touch their email. But we do hit on that very, very hard, and share that it's okay if you're unsure and you submit an email that it's not a phishing email. That's absolutely okay. We can address that on our end. Let the tech people handle that. You just send it to us, and if it's legit, we'll put it right back in your inbox.
Those are great tips. I feel like we're not utilizing the fish hook. We're just, directing them to mark it as phishing, through the menu in the email. So maybe I feel like I'm more motivated to actually get that button established. All right, let's move on to Seth.
Yeah, thanks, Cassie. One thing that I've started focusing on over the last probably year and a half is attacking the myth that it won't happen to me. That the bad actors aren't going after schools, that it's only high profile companies, and the reality is that that's just not the case anymore. And I'm going to say this, so please take it as a grain of salt. The Power School incident was a lot of leverage for us, the Power School breach that happened because we are not a Power School district. We are a Skyward district, but we leveraged the media and everything surrounding the Power School incident to really kind of paint a picture for our staff that, hey, look, it's real and it can happen to you. And one thing, the making it real part is, I share openly that due to a breach, not the Power School one, but in a roundabout way, it helped me find out that even my 11-year-old son had his information exposed in a breach. And sharing that, gosh, I don't know if you've ever been a part of that, especially for somebody under 18. It is a royal pain in the butt to get all that sorted out, and credit monitoring, and by the way, everything has to go through U.S. mail and can't be done online. So we are still working on this. His social security number is being used by an individual in New York City, and there's not a whole lot that we are able to do about it right now, outside of the usual freezing the credit and stuff like that, because it's out there and it doesn't mean that they're acting on it, but that it is attached to an individual that we don't know. And who knows how that individual got it. We don't know, but it comes up on our monthly report that it's out there, and then basically there's nothing we can do about it right now, outside of what we've already done. So painting a picture that it's real, sharing openly, we kind of followed the Power School media and everything that they were sending out, and leveraged that to say, hey, look, this is what happened, and this is who they believe did it, and it was some guy in another country, and just being very open about it and sharing that, and just even listening to Bill talk and putting a real face to it, I think is important, because obviously my family's not the only one in a district of 600 staff that have been affected by that. And if they're willing to share that, I want to kind of bring attention to that, because so often we just think it can't hit us. And I mean, we even had a breach through a third party vendor that does our bus driver drug screening, and sharing that out too. Like, hey, look, this happened. It wasn't anything that we did wrong, but it was something that happened regardless. So I just say being real is a big component of what we've been doing now. And it's worked, right? So one thing that we did, and even at the district level team, is leveraging the Power School incident to get 2FA set up on all Skyward accounts. And if you've ever done that, that can be painful for some users to have to MFA every time they log into Skyward. But it's something that we enacted over the summer and have continued to do. And it's not super happy at first, but now it's old hat and we do it once a day. And I feel better about our posture because of it. And it's all honestly because of the media and how close to home attacks are coming. So I'd love to hear if anybody else does anything, the real life stuff about it.
Can I share real quick? I love this because I will tell you, as an educator and then someone who worked in instructional technology integration, what you just said was the biggest game changer to share with educators, because we kind of do live in our own little bubble and we do think that everything we're doing is protected in our classroom. And so hearing the real life stories and what happened in Baltimore and what's happened even in other districts in the state of Indiana really helped our teachers see, wow. And it was something where, a lot of these breaches was something that anybody may have clicked on just out of assuming good intent. And so I love that. The real world use cases and sharing that, I mean, that reached our educators more than anything else. So I love that you shine a light on that. That's 100% true.
Seth, I'll share last year, and I think maybe Bill experienced this down around us locally. There were some email compromise situations, and a staff member's email was compromised, and a phishing email went out through anyone that they had ever communicated with. And we had one parent, actually it was a guardian for the week, who received that email, who just happened to be watching this kid for like 48 hours. And it was an email like, please fill out this form with your information. And she thought, oh, she probably needs this since I'm taking care of this child for a couple days, and submitted her passwords, all the content. And it took us several hours of trying to support her individually, just with her personal accounts and information where she had shared her passwords through a form. And that was kind of a challenge. A lot of the teachers did a great job notifying us right away. Hey, I received something. We ended up making actually like an all-call announcement across several of our buildings, just to curtail all of our blowing up emails, just to say, we are aware, don't click on it. We use managed methods, so we just revoked that email from everyone's inbox, which was fantastic. If you're not utilizing that tool, we have done so much with that tool. And just the individual, like Seth, you shared your individual account of trying to recover, the situation with your son, and just the individual situation of just trying to help that one person get into her account and change her passwords before someone else was in it, after she had provided her credentials to people through that form. So I think when you put a person in the seat, it just becomes more real, and escalates kind of the importance of it. When everybody experienced that, I think it was kind of a wake up call, about just being more aware and conscious whenever you're looking at suspicious emails. So. I don't know if anyone has anything else, but I think we have Brad Hag, you're the last one, and I know you have a lot to share. And Darlene is going to help you out and be posting all of your wonderful links in the chat.
I'm going to try to go quick so that we've got time for question and answer at the end. But you asked me what resources we can share. And so for a couple years, I've shared that top 10 free state and federal and private cybersecurity resources document. It's still got a lot of great things in there, but beware, the landscape is shifting. So a lot of federal resources are starting to disappear and reshape. Among those, MS-ISAC is going to a paid membership model, so no longer free for schools moving forward. And I hear rumblings that the state is not going to purchase a membership for every local government unit in the state. So based on that, if you wanted to continue with them, you're probably going to have to pay for it individually, and it's not a small cost. So you want to take a look at that and really consider it. At the same time, the reason that the federal government pulled funding from them was that they're asking CISA, the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, to step up and do a lot of the things that MS-ISAC have done in the past. So CISA is now doing meetings on the first and third Wednesday of every month that schools are welcome to join. I dropped a post in our school cybersecurity Moodle community for school IT folks that want to do um, those types of resources and activities. And if you want to join that community, email me and you can get the code to get into that community. But in there, I linked to the announcement that I posted that actually has the calendar link that you can use to get those meetings on your calendars. And I'd encourage you to do that, as well as to complete the CISA survey that they now have open through September 12th. That survey is critical because they're trying to gauge what types of services they should offer schools. It's kind of clunky. It's written in language that's not education friendly, but grit your teeth, get through it, and give them some good feedback so that we can shape that program to meet really what you need. Um, I blew right past the topic for this call, and Darlene already posted in the chat, but I did compile for you guys a list of all of the Cybersecurity Awareness Month kits and resources that I'm aware of. CISA is leading the theme with the Secure Your World resources that they've been building over the last few years. Know4 has a great kit, and then I included all the ones that I could find, from private vendors to public consortiums to alliances. And so all of those are linked in that document. And as long as I shared it for people outside the IDOE, you should be able to click on that and get to those resources and evaluate them, decide what works best to work with your users. But a lot of great content in there. Couple big events coming up that I'm aware of. The KnowBe4 user group that's run by Janetta from IoT is meeting on 9/18 from 10 to 11 a.m. just to share best practices. If you remember, it's a new option that's available from IoT that if you have the free KnowBe4 platform that's offered through the state now through that state and local cybersecurity grant program funding, you can actually get onto the state's cadence for training and phishing of your staff. And the state will actually come in and configure it all for you. You don't have to do a thing. Janetta will come into your environment and just set it up based on what you guys discuss and talk about. And if you don't want to do as much content as the state does, which is a training every month and quarterly phishing, they'll actually do a reduced calendar, especially for education, that is just quarterly training and phishing, taking the summer off. So it's really only 3 times per year of each of those. So really great stuff that you don't have to do a lot with to have that content delivered to your staff once you've selected KnowBe4 for your district. Once again, you can request those free licenses by jumping into that same Moodle course. There's a KnowBe4 licenses form at the top, and you can request the licenses that you need. You need one for every staff member that you're going to be using the platform with. And I'll take your request and we'll get you all approved and hooked up if you aren't currently using KnowBe4. But you can request your licenses, get onboarded, and then you go through some really basic setup tasks that I send you an email to get started with. And then once that's done, you don't even have to configure all the activities with your users. You could just reach out to Janetta and she'd take it over from there. Last but certainly not least, Brett Edstein over on the IoT side also has digital town hall meetings every month where he talks about some cybersecurity topic. They're on the second Tuesday. Next one is on 9/9 at 1 p.m. Eastern. And the link there will actually take you to a registration where you just register once and you're in for all of them. You'll keep getting notifications about those coming up. So that is my whirlwind tour of things that I think are important, but happy to answer any questions you might have.
Brad,
Brad,
oh,
go ahead.
I was just going to say I have worked with Janetta, and she set up our Know before, and it's really nice to have a hands-off approach where she's setting up all of it. We chose to do the full 12-month every month setup. She also sends us the admin. She sends us notifications of what's coming out. So hats off to her. If you talk to her very often, she really has taken a load off.
And she's so incredibly nice and accommodating. Like she is so great to work with.
Yeah.
Brad or Darlene, you might even know this answer. If they set it up kind of the way you explained it, I believe you said there's an assessment at some point. Is that like a forced assessment or is that optional? Is there any additional information you could share regarding that?
No assessments. Just they'll do the cybersecurity, the phishing tests, like just to send the draft phishing messages to your users to see how many of them click on it. And then the training is just something you watch. And they have a target. They really want, their goal is for 80% of your users to be doing those activities. But they're just thrilled when people are using it, to be honest. So don't expect any harsh consequences if 80% of your users don't click into the activities or if you have problems with the rollout. It's all good. We're looking for best activities and practice at this point.
For our
Thank you.
organization, she didn't, we chose not to have any consequences based on click rate or anything like that. Just something I can go in and look. And every once in a while, I send our team the picture of our meter that's in the dashboard, so it doesn't pick out any person specifically. But I'm just like, hey, I'm really trying to get this down. This is where we're at. So if we can work as a team, and I give them hints on how we can get our risk score down. So yeah.
Joe posted a message in the question in the chat there. Yeah, he asked, he's investigating the use of an email security platform called Abnormal. Is the state looking at any sort of bulk pricing for this platform? Joe, at this point, I'm not aware of any group at the state looking at this, but that's a great question. It might be certainly something that if you reach out to your educational service centers, they do a lot of partnerships with a lot of different software companies. Might be something that they're interested in pursuing a discount for schools if they can get multiple interests and work towards a statewide solution.
I'll share that after I wiped the tears out of my eyes when I got the email that the CISA services were no longer free, I did pay for that because we use the malicious domain name reporting tool that they have for our DNS, and that is a fantastic tool that will block a lot of threats on individuals' computers, even like if you have a guest network, it's segregated from everything else. You see a lot of adware and other bad items getting blocked. And I think we average a good 8-9 million blocks a week just from that tool alone. The majority of that is from like guest networks, I've noticed, but it's still a great tool to use. That's very, very simple. You set it, forget it, and get a report every week.
I know the purpose of this call is to talk about how to bring cybersecurity to your users, but it's also a good reminder for all of you that during the month of October is when the National Cybersecurity Review opens up through MSISAC, and that service is continuing. And it's a great way to evaluate your posture and keep track of changes that you're making each year in your cybersecurity posture as a district or school. And it's free to complete that assessment. It does complete kind of one of the requirements of mandatory services if you're receiving any SLCGP software funding. So I would encourage everyone to participate in the NCSR when it opens up, and I'll definitely be sending out links through Dr. Jenner's weekly newsletter, as well as posting links to it on the HEC listserv. So keep your eye posted for that when it opens up.
Brad, if you ever need us to send anything out through our newsletter as well, let us know and we can include that content.
Brad,
Okay.
looks
go
like there's a
ahead.
question. There's a question in the chat. Chris Bowers asked if you could clarify if CIS Workbench and their build kits will remain free.
That might be a better Scott Pratt question
Oh,
because
okay.
I've tried to keep on the webinars and follow up with what's going to be free and paid, but I've kind of lost track of some of that. And Scott, pursuing membership, might be more aware of what's covered and what's not.
Oh, I'm trying to pull it up right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it open quick enough.
I can
But
hum some elevator music while you're searching.
Feeling better already. I can't remember specifically if that was on the list
I
of benefits.
I do know that probably most of the CIS based stuff is probably going to be a paid membership. I know any of their extra services definitely weren't covered under the federal funding. I think I might be incorrect, but I think the notification services and maybe the free version of the MDBR, the malicious domain blocking, I think that's still covered. I think feds are still giving them money for that. But if you have the enhanced blocking, which Scott may have, and if you have like their Albert sensor or any advanced services, the workstation clients, the endpoint protection software, all of those things are going to require a membership going forward.
Cassie,
Okay.
I do have one last thing if you don't care.
Go right ahead.
I'm pretty excited about this one. I forgot to mention it, but I started a Cybersecurity Awareness Employee of the Month to reward positive behaviors when it comes to cybersecurity. It could be as simple as clicking the fish hook, or it could be like if someone like went out of their way to get a hold of me to tell me they had a weird email, that person could potentially be a nomination for the monthly award. It's just a $25 gift card. But when I got to thinking about it, I'm like, well, we need to really be thinking about security as a whole, not just cyber, but also physical. So we kind of changed it to just Security Awareness Employee of the Month. So if you do things in your school or your buildings that is also a physical security, a positive behavior, such as finding a door that's propped and unpropping it, or escorting someone to the office who doesn't have their visitor badge on. Those type of behaviors could be rewarded as well. And we're going to make kind of a big deal about it each month about who won and then what they did to promote stronger security. And I'll share that in the chat.
Bill, do you ever put plants in place?
Plants? Not yet, but I'm considering it. Good idea.
I'm sure I could come walk through your building and
Yeah,
we'll see if anybody pulls me over or
like
prop a door open.
whoever tackles you gets a $25 gift card.
Man.
Hey guys,
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I'll share the MSISAC membership model details here in the chat right now too.
Bill, can you add that last link in your doc as well if it's not inside your doc. And then
Yes, ma'am.
for the attendees, I'm going to try to gather up a collection of anything that was included in the chat that maybe won't be linked in the slides. And then when the recording is published to YouTube, I can send you the link to the YouTube video if you'd like to refer to it, along with the slide presentation and any extra links that have been dropped here in the chat today. Hopefully that'll help everyone in case you didn't get everything snagged through the session today. So,
Hey, Scott, can I
last,
ask you, was your MSISAC membership pricing based on number of students, or did they tell you, or did they just throw you a number, or how did you
It's
know?
based on the organization's annual operating budget. Ours is fairly, we're right in the middle actually. And I just shared what I shared in the chat was it showed the single organization pricing based on tiers. Um, our operating budget, I guesstimated to be a tier 3 based off of my conversations with the CFO, or very close to. But I don't think there is a free MDBR option any longer. So you can join with a membership to have access to the MDBR, or there's an additional add-on service, which is the MDBR Plus that I am not using. I'm just using the basic MDBR.
Bummer.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm appreciative that we had it for free while we did. So I won't complain having to, you know, dish out a little bit for it. And in fact, I'm appreciative for every service that we're able to use that's not costing our community. So thank you for all of your efforts and IoT and all of our partners.
fantastic. Okay, I think we've covered all of the questions in the chat, so we'll wrap this up. Of course, you have all of our social connections on this last slide. Thanks again to our platinum partners, 5-Star and Magic School. We were so glad to have you all. And we are going to sign off. Thanks, everyone.